Hi, and welcome to a rental market update with Ledgy Commercial. I am Brittany Ping, the Director of Property Management. Thanks for spending some time with me today. The long-awaited New Hampshire Rental Survey data report from New Hampshire Housing has been released earlier this month. I've taken some time to dig in and want to share some highlights with you as you review the report and think about what it means for the upcoming year when we are currently in peak and how it's going to impact everything that we're doing, throughout this early spring. So one of the things that came out on this report is actually what didn't come out on this report, which was the vacancy rental rate. So they determined they did not have enough data with only 12% of units responding, the statewide available units responding. They did not have enough information to determine vacancy rate. So that's the first time in a long time. And once again, 5% is considered a desirable occupancy rate. It's a balanced occupancy rate, vacancy rate, I'm sorry. So 95% occupancy, 5% vacancy. That is considered the most desirable for the market, the most balanced for the market. I will tell you anecdotally at Ledgy Commercial, we've been operating between 2 and 3% vacancy rate for the past 6 months. So that is, I think, what's happening in regards to rental vacancy rate. Commercial vacancy rate, on the other hand, is being reported at 13% right now. So this is absolutely to be expected in regards to the COVID shift. We're seeing a lot of movement in regards to converting commercial space, especially here in Manchester on Elm Street, into residential use. So the good news, bad news is vacancy rate is unknown in the state of New Hampshire right now. Normally we have that information. One of the other things that they reported on is the median rental market rate. And so median rental market rates for 2 bedrooms have gone up 3.9% across the state, according to this report. So last year it was 11.6% increase. And one of the reasons that they're saying there's a big disparity between 2023 increase rates and 2024 is that utilities increase stopped. They're saying utility rates decreased. I don't really think that's, not that I want to say that it's false, but we all saw the spike in cost of heating oil, in cost of gas, and in cost of electricity. I do think those things have gone back up, but in December and January of this past year, when they were collecting this data, it was significantly different than the year before in regards to a reduction. So this is one of those where I'm going to swallow that they say that utility rates went down for the average family, because that is included in the median market rent. But I don't think it's as big of a dip as is reported. So I think the actuality of it, especially with that sample size, especially with the new rates that have taken effect over the past few months for all of those big suppliers, right? And we have not seen what heating fuel cost is going to be this winter, right? I know that Ledgy Commercial, we're starting to go reach out and get those contracts in place right now. So, even that, I can't say, hey, we're seeing it's an increase from last year. But we do know that those things did spike dramatically in 2022 and 2023, affecting that larger increase that we did expect to see in the median market rents. This year, they're saying it's only 3.9%. I will say that's really in line with what we've been preparing owners for in regards to property tax increases. That's absolutely 3 to 4% has been our target number in regards to absorbing those costs. So I do think, while I think some of it is not aligned with reality in regards to the cost of utilities, this is absolutely a measure that we are using based on city and town budgets and things like that we are seeing in regards to property tax rate increases. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about is when they're talking about the median market rent rate, they didn't break down things as deeply as they had done in previous years. And for Hillsborough County, and for most of the counties, you'll see they'll say, oh, it actually kind of decreased a little, or they're very, very, very similar. So Hillsborough County went from last year at $2,008 to this year at $1,989. So again, they're attributing that utilities cost decrease as the reason for the decrease. So base rent, I don't think we're going to see as affected. This is assuming that is. And in Manchester, so Hillsborough County, the whole county, and then back data driven down into the city of Manchester. Last year it was 1809, and this year it's 1838. So really, I don't think that this is an amazing a report. I think that they were hoping for a bigger amount of responses to be able to get a lot of data. It did do a pretty good job of showing us a snapshot, but it's really not that comprehensive, go-to guide that I've used year over year over year. And one of the things that I'm afraid of based on this is what our HUD data is going to look like. So what the state is doing and the research they're getting is all going to go to HUD to determine fair market rents for 2025 at the end of this quarter. And so I'm wondering, and my prediction is really kind of crazy, right? My prediction for HUD numbers next year is I think we're going to go through another year just like we did in 2021, where HUD is showing a decrease in fair market rent. And I really don't think that we're going to see that happen in the market. I do absolutely think that the market is slowed, that the vacancy, when there is a new vacancy, the rent rate is definitely not pushing. I think that we're going to maintain pretty traditionally flat in regards to where we've seen vacancy listings at. I don't think we're going to start to see, at least in C-class housing, right? We're not going to see C-class housing go to $2,400, $2,500, $2,600 three bedrooms. We're not going to continue to see that number increase. But I think that HUD's going to come out with another fair market rent value decrease, if not stabilization. And that's going to impact our lowest level of housing. Those are your housing vouchers are based on fair market rents. And so while overall it looks good for the affordability of New Hampshire, I'm not sure that it's really going to give us the real information about what the rental listings look like when they do come available in C-class housing, because that's really where should be right around that fair market rent. I hope you really enjoyed my little analysis of this. I would encourage you to sign up for tinyurl.com/market updates if you want to hear more. We are super close to getting that HUD data. I think I had called a 3% vacancy rate early, so I'm a little sad that I can't pull back my previous video and see if I was right or not. So I'd love to hear what other landlords around the state are experiencing. Again, we are kind of revolving between 2 and 3% vacancy rate here. Just depends on where we're at. If you have any questions, again, tinyurl.com/market updates. You're going to get on our mailing list and learn more. I hope you have a great day, and thanks so much.